The best team in the world proved it again. I am obviously talking about the game in the Champions League between Barcelona and PSG. PSG walked into Barcelona Stadium and still won 2-1. But it's how they did it that tells us everything about why they are unstoppable right now. This game was quite interesting because of various reasons. Barcelona started strong. The first 30 minutes were for Barcelona. They pressed hard, they tried to attack, they tried to dominate. Of course, it was a home game, so they had the crowd behind them. And then there was bravery. Yet PSG flipped the whole game, especially let's say the second half. From that moment on, they had the possession, they showed bravery, and all of that happened away from home. It was one team that proved that they are the best in the world. More importantly, that's something I noticed. They dared to pass between the lines, controlled the tempo, played with bravery. There's a truth behind all of this. Of course, you would expect me to talk about the missing 5 world-class players. I'm talking about Doué, talking about Ballon d'Or winner Dembele. Marquinhos, their captain, was missing. Although they have 2 great center backs who could fill the gap, who are filling the gap right now already. They were missing Kvaratskhelia and they were missing the Portuguese. He is a really good midfielder, João Neves. You would expect me to talk about these players. And of course, but still, although they missed all these players, they still impressed away from home against Barcelona. And there's a contrast I should mention because, of course, you will counter me saying that Barcelona also missed Lewandowski, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal just came back from an injury. He's injured again right now. Yes, of course. But still, it's still impressive how PSG dominated with the players who aren't even starters. And now it gets interesting. This is exactly the thing I'd like to tell you guys, because what I noticed is PSG's depth. This is PSG's cheat code. Insane depth. Even their backups showed us they're world class. Because we're not talking about the Farmers League, we're talking about the Champions League away from home against Barcelona. Should we talk about the tactical brilliance? It was a clash between 2 great coaches, Hansi Flick and Luis Enrique, because Luis Enrique made PSG dare to play through the thirds with bravery. They countered the pressing play of Barcelona. They could find passes between the lines constantly. Barcelona didn't have an answer to it. Flick's Barcelona, they started strong, intense at first, but crucially, no answers once PSG took control. That's something that I noticed. Do you guys agree or disagree? Just let me know in the comments down below. This wasn't just about players missing, 5 players, key players missing on PSG's side, and of course Lewandowski and Rafinha missing on Barcelona's side. This was a coaching masterclass. That's how I call it, because Luis Enrique, he proved himself. He proved that he is a world-class coach. And of course, I respect Hansi Flick, but this was an interesting clash between 2 great coaches. 2. You guys saw the winning goal, right? You saw it. Hakimi, Gonzalo Ramos. You saw it. There's something special about this particular goal. I'm gonna tell you that. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this particular goal. You know why? Because this one is unique. The way Hakimi broke through the defense of Barcelona and basically had an easy cross, an easy assist to Gonzalo Ramos. This is something they do quite often. They train on it. And if you've been watching PSG last season, you must have noticed that these type of goals are peanuts for PSG. And Ousmane Dembele, the Ballon d'Or winner, scored tons of them, scored a lot of these similar goals. Ramos and Hakimi, great timing, great execution. What basically happens with these type of goals, during these type of goals, is the attacker drifts offside on purpose, defenders step up and they stop tracking. Then there's great timing from the attacking team. You swing the ball wide, and I repeat, timing is everything. The wing back breaks through, and it's an easy cross. It's an easy, if you're onside, the striker's onside again, great timing, and it's a goal. Hakimi's run was a perfect example, perfect timing, perfect chemistry, goal. You want to know something interesting? Cristiano Ronaldo also scored a lot of these goals. Interesting. It's a classic striker's trick. And guys, it's not only this goal, but these details show why PSG are on another level, which is insane. If you would have said this years ago, I wouldn't believe you. I would think you're crazy. I would have told you that you're crazy. But PSG, last season they were crazy, and they still are. And let's be honest, guys, these tiny little margins win games. What does this particular game mean for the season? It has a meaning. It does. Because for PSG, they proved that they're still the best in the world, except for the Club World Cup. They lost it to Chelsea. But apart from that, they won everything, and they're not slowing down. This game away from home proves that they are still improving, because the team is still hungry. We've seen a lot of teams that won year after year. They start slowing down. They're not hungry anymore. They get comfortable, and then you need to sell players, buy new players. But PSG is still hungry, and of course, it was just last season that they've won everything. So it's quite fresh, but it was interesting to see if it was PSG being lucky last season, or that it is well deserved. And of course, you need a little bit of luck, but PSG is the best team in the world. That's a fact. That's a fact. This win over Barcelona proves that they're not slowing down. They're evolving. Impressive. The players, the team, they play really well as a collective. And also Luis Enrique as a coach, really good coach, tactical masterclass. Luis Enrique has the depth with their team, with PSG, tactical flexibility. He does have a plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, which is something that is really important if you want to adapt to your opponent as well, because sometimes you need to do it. Sometimes you need to do it. Don't be arrogant, or just adapt. Just do it. Don't be stubborn, because a lot of coaches, a lot of teams, they're stubborn, but they know how to move, to adapt in different circumstances. They're insane. For Barcelona, though, this is a warning. It is. We've seen that they can beat small sides, but in the Champions League, it's different. When they play the elite clubs, they look fragile. And I'm talking about their defense. I'm talking about the offside trap. I'm talking about not having a plan B, C, D, or eventually E. So for Barcelona, this is a warning. They have a lot of players that are injured as well right now. Lamine Yamal is not fit. Lewandowski was missing. Rafinha missing. So, and also with their defense, because not many people are talking about Inigo Martinez, who left Barcelona because he was mastering the offside trap. He was leading it, and now that he's left, I don't know. And now, something that's interesting as well, I'm gonna make another video about it, is the offside trap worked, but what happens? What is your answer? What is your solution if other clubs figure out the offside trap, because it was new to a lot of clubs, but right now they study Barcelona. What is the answer? What is the answer to teams? Because you look really fragile. So this is a warning for Barcelona. They also gotta improve, evolve. Interesting game. Like I said, PSG is the best team in the world, and I told you how they do it. Interesting. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm tired. I'm gonna sleep. But I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Bye-bye.